Hi, this is Kat Lloyd, Pop House TV. I hope everyone's doing well. So last Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I was going to take off. And of course, I got a phone call about a dog named Honey in trouble at the City of Killeen Animal Shelter after it was deemed dangerous. So I was really excited to actually see the letter that was actually served to the owner of this dog named Honey. In this letter, the Killeen Animal Services states that they have conducted an investigation and has good reason to believe and does believe that the below described dog is an aggressive dog based on the following facts: that while it was unrestrained, it caused bodily injury to a domestic animal or livestock, or that while it was restrained, it kills or causes death. So from what I can gather from this, Honey was in her backyard. She picked up a scent and she went over to the other side of the yard. And Honey actually went to the goat that was actually laying on the ground and inspected it. The owner was right there the whole time. They saw what was happening. Unfortunately, the neighbor said that Honey was the reason why the goat died. Now, according to the letter, there were three choices. One of the choices that within 15 days the owner would receive notice of the above described dog and that the owner may surrender the aggressive animal to the Killeen Animal Services, or option number 2, that no later than 15 days from the date that the owner received this notice, that the owner would notify the Killeen Animal Services in writing and the owner is making arrangements to remove the aggressive dog. Or the third one is that the owner would have to secure the dog in some, safe manner, maybe $100,000 liability insurance. So after I saw this, I thought that the best thing to do was to remove Honey from the City of Killeen city limits. So immediately, while I was going through this case and just the beginning part of it, Anka called me from Anka's Ark Animal Sanctuary, and I told her, Anka, we need to remove this dog from the City of Killeen. She immediately jumped in, went and got Honey, and took her to a safe place. Then I thought it was important to get an assessment. Is Honey truly, an aggressive dog? I wanted to know one way or another that would actually determine what we should all do. So I asked Anka if she could find me a certified trainer that specializes in aggressive dogs, and we found it. We found Star Canine Services, LLC, owned by Erskine Weir, and we made arrangements for Honey to go get an assessment. Let's take a look at the video of her assessment.
Before we go in, I'm going to have this on her, like this, because harnesses are made for pulling, as far as I'm concerned, okay? Whereas, you can unclick that for a second.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. You know what you do.
Okay. Good, honey. Good. Yes. Good girl. Dog in. There's no aggression so far towards any other animal, towards another dog, let's put it that way. Okay? There was no aggression towards me. I've had the dog just less than a minute in my hand. Good girl. I have a regular leash that's used at the animal facility. I'm putting pressure on the dog right now. The dog is showing no signs of aggression to want to come at me or bite me, or even at the animal that's right here. From there, I'm going to go out back, and then we're going to introduce her to other animals outside. Now, welcome to Star Canine Services. I'm evaluating Canine Honey to see how she is as far as being aggressive towards other dogs. There's nothing on her, as you can see. This is from training with another dog. I'm putting that over there. So it's just the leash and the dog. Yes. Okay. She shows no interest in this male. However, we have right next door a female dog. We want to see if she shows any interest or any aggression towards this dog. Just how she urinates. It's okay. This is just for control. Good. Good girl. No aggression there whatsoever. Now we're going to go over to another section. One of the protection dogs that might show her aggression. I'm not here to evaluate this dog. I'm here to evaluate this dog. So I know that this dog has training in it that can be aggressive, but it's showing no aggression. Neither is Honey. Now she's excited because turn to the other side, you'll see the other dogs over there. They're acting up. Okay? The dog that you see right here was here for aggression. She might show aggression. Leave it. Good, leave it. She was here for aggression. There's food in that kennel. They eat with chicken. There's no aggression here. I move down the line. This is a 6-month-old puppy. No aggression. This is a 3-year-old dog. No aggression. Okay? On that side is 5-month-old puppies. We're going to go around. And I'm purposely bringing her over logs. She has to go where I go. This is a male. Again, no aggression. Now you might say, well, where are the goats? We're going to pause and we're going to go to where the goats would be. And that's on the back end of the field. I just want to show, this is without any, again, this is just for safety in case we need to use it. But over here you hear the goats bleating. So we're going to go to the goats. You should show arousal, but not aggression. Arousal is when they become alert. A dog that is aggressive tends to want to growl, bark, and rip at the fence, and eager to get over there. A dog that's neutral in its area or even around other animals shows this demeanor. There's no excitement, there's no arousal. She's just curious. So of course she's going to want to go over there to visit. Now watch as the goat approaches. Okay? As the goat approaches, if she tries to show too much excitement, then I correct her. I don't have to. Look at the tail. Look at how I'm holding the leash. Literally 2 fingers. So if this dog was aggressive towards this animal, it would be showing it. Okay? She's curious. I let the leash go if you hadn't noticed. She's curious, but there's no aggression there. On this side over here, you have bigger goats. Hey guys. The one with the big horns, that's my goat. His name is Gizmo. Here come a dog. Okay? That's a tan dog, looks just like her. That dog shows no aggression to these animals because it's not aggressive. This is not aggression. Okay? This is curiosity. It wants to get over there. Notice how this dog came up and it has his hair heckled. Doesn't mean that the dog is aggressive. It means it's aroused. It's stimulated, but no aggression. If there was aggression, you would have seen it by now. There's no aggression so far that I see in this dog. So she's in the barn, and now we're just letting her walk around. And I believe if this dog was aggressive, it would have done something by now. I don't see the aggression. Maybe it's hidden. We took him around barking dogs. We took her around the goats. And she's still just more curious than anything else. Now, this is the first time I'm ever meeting this dog. And I do not advise anyone to do this. I've been working with dogs for well over 30 years. I'm also a retired veteran. Worked with dogs downrange with Department of State and DOD. I was a bomb dog handler there. Also worked with dogs in Afghanistan, protective training dogs. And we work with dogs also for people behavior modification. We also work with dogs if they're deemed to be aggressive, we try to see if there's any aggression in the dogs, and if the dogs can be are treatable, or can they be retrained. And so far, again, I don't see any aggression in this dog. Not saying that there isn't any, but right now, I'll say no, I don't. It's not appearing to be aggressive. Any dog can show a certain amount of aggression, just as humans will. They're animals. As you see, there were dogs barking, provoking, which she should have amped up, but instead she just got aroused. And this is even after my dog's kennel is open. First time ever meeting this dog. And she's not even... Murphy, stay down. Good. So I purposely stopped him there so she can see him. If she was aggressive, she would have went after him. There's no tension on this leash whatsoever. She's being very nonchalant about everything. We're concluding that she's not an aggressive dog. She's now out with my male, laying on the floor. And pretty much we took her around to most of the dogs, introduced her to my dog Murphy, and she's here, showing no signs of aggression. So again, I don't believe she's an aggressive dog. Misunderstood, that could be, but not an aggressive dog.
So Honey doesn't look like she's aggressive, and I was really excited to see this. I was also excited to get the letters out to the city of Killeen as quickly as possible to let them know that Honey was not in the city limits and that she did receive an assessment. When the owner walked into the city shelter, she was able to speak to Jessica Green, who is the director of animal services for the Killeen Animal Shelter. And after having a discussion, Jessica Green decided to write on the letter that was being delivered that the Killeen Animal Shelters would retrieve or retract the aggressive dog notice, not enough evidence. Not enough evidence, when in the beginning it said that the Killeen Animal Services had conducted an investigation and has good reason to believe that, and does believe, that the below dog is in fact aggressive. What changed it? I'm not sure, but whatever worked, I'm happy that this worked out this way. Normally, we get the story after the dog has been picked up. It's in quarantine. I have to tell you that we've covered Bruce's story of what happened to him when he was in quarantine. It was horrible. They starved him. And we're going to still continue looking into that case. In fact, next week we're going to cover that. So if you find yourself in the situation, immediately remove your dog from the city Killeen city limits. Also, make sure that it immediately gets an assessment. But what happens, and let's be real, what happens if your dog shows aggression? Well, that's one of the things that we really need to know. I'm not trying to say here so you can get out of this by taking it to him. He is going to tell you the truth. He is an upstanding person, and I trust him that if he tells me this dog is dangerous, then we would have to be looking at another way of maybe trying to save that dog's life. So this ordeal started on Monday, and by Friday, look at this letter. The Killeen Animal Services would like to notify that due to insufficient evidence, Honey, the tan female pit bull, will not be deemed aggressive and is allowed to stay in the city limits of Killeen. Killeen Animal Services will need proof of rabies and vaccine and sterilizations and microchip by October 1st, 2023. I need to make sure that the owner gets that done. Do not give anyone a reason to come back. And then to let them know in case they need any other help. And at the end, they say that they do apologize for the inconvenience. Please feel free to give us a call or an email if you have any questions. It is more than just an inconvenience. If you're going to deem an animal aggressive, code red, that's going to lose their lives, it's more than inconvenience. This was a trauma to this entire family. But it also goes along the lines of what I wanted to do in the petition, the Justice for Emba petition, which is to have a third party that is certified as an animal behaviorist that knows what they're doing to actually deem that dog aggressive or not aggressive. I personally recommend Star Canine Services. You can call Erskine Weir. He is a certified trainer. His phone number is 254-630-0834. And I look forward to the next time that we are in that area to doing a tour and meeting this man in person. I want to thank everyone else behind the scenes that helped out with this. So this is what we do. We work together to save even just one life matters. So this is Kat Lloyd, Pup House TV. Remember to spay, neuter, microchip. Be kind to your animals. Watch next week as we start Bruce's story. And also, I've got a surprise for you guys. We're going to have an update with Sadlali Eaton. She's going to come back and give us an update on what happened after her 2 dogs were confiscated, 1 shot inside the house, and still the City of Killeen Animal Shelter deemed it dangerous. So this is going to be several months of stories in the City of Killeen. We're going to give you examples of why we need to stand up. We need to sign the Justice for Emba petition, and we need to start changing their ordinance so that every dog lives matter. We'll see you guys next time.